The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Anna Chen stepped forward, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Around her, representatives from 47 species watched with expressions ranging from curiosity to barely concealed horror. The holographic display behind her showed a rotating image of Earth, that small blue marble that had somehow produced the most dangerous survivors in known space. "Honored delegates," Anna began, her voice steady despite the weight of 1,000 alien eyes upon her. "You asked why humanity requests membership in the Council. You asked what makes us worthy. But I think the question you're all really asking is, what kind of species survives a death world and still seeks peace?" Beside her, David Torres adjusted his translator implant and whispered, "They're terrified, Anna. Look at the Krevnax delegation. Their biosignatures are spiking." Anna didn't turn to look at her fellow human diplomat. She'd seen the fear before, on every world they'd visited during their tour of the civilized galaxy. It was always the same reaction when aliens learned the truth about Earth. The council speaker, a methane-breathing Ularian named Vexther, raised 3 of its tentacles in a gesture of acknowledgement. "Ambassador Chen, we do not question your desire for peace. We question your species' stability. Your world is classified as a Class XII death world. Nothing should have evolved to sentience there, yet you did. And worse, you thrived." Anna allowed herself a small smile. "Let me tell you a story about Earth." The holographic display shifted, showing Earth as it had been 4 billion years ago, a hellscape of volcanic activity and toxic atmosphere. Our planet tried to kill us before we even existed. The formation of our moon came from a collision that should have shattered Earth entirely. Our atmosphere was poison. Our oceans were acid. Radiation bombarded our surface. Yet life began, Anna continued. Single-celled organisms that learned to convert toxic sunlight into energy. They terraformed our entire planet, making it breathable, but in doing so, they caused the first mass extinction. Life on Earth has always been at war with itself and the planet. David took over, pulling up data streams. 99% of all species that ever lived on Earth are extinct. We've had 5 major mass extinctions: asteroid impacts, supervolcanoes, ice ages that covered continents, and through it all, life persisted, adapted, and became stronger. A delegate from the Peaceful Harmonium Collective, a species that had never known war or natural predators, raised a luminescent appendage. "This only proves our concern, Ambassador Torres. Your species evolved in constant conflict. How can we trust you won't bring that violence to the galaxy?" Anna's expression hardened. "Because we learned something your peaceful worlds never had to. We learned that survival isn't just about strength. It's about cooperation, adaptation, and choosing to be better than our circumstances." The display changed again, showing humanity's evolutionary tree. We weren't the strongest species on our planet. We were weaker than the great predators, slower than the prey animals, less venomous than the insects. But we had something else. We had each other. David nodded, warming to the narrative. "Humans are pack animals, social creatures. We survived because we worked together. A single human is vulnerable. A tribe of humans is unstoppable. We domesticated fire, invented tools, built civilizations, not through individual superiority but through collective effort. And when Earth tried to kill us with ice ages," Anna added, "we invented clothing and shelter. When drought threatened, we dug wells and built irrigation. When disease ravaged us, we developed medicine. Every challenge made us more innovative, more resilient, more determined to not just survive but to flourish." The Krevnax ambassador, a reptilian being with armored scales, hissed through its translator. "You speak of cooperation, yet your history is filled with warfare. You fought each other with increasingly terrible weapons. You developed nuclear weapons capable of destroying your own world." Anna didn't flinch. "You're absolutely right, and that's perhaps the most important part of our story." She pulled up images of human history, the wars, the devastation, the atomic blasts that had once threatened to end everything. The chamber grew quieter, the fear more palpable. "We nearly destroyed ourselves," Anna admitted. "We created weapons that could end all life on Earth. We polluted our oceans, poisoned our air, drove countless species to extinction through our carelessness. We were our own worst enemy." "But then we chose differently," David said softly. "We looked at the brink of annihilation and we stepped back. We formed the United Earth Government. We banned weapons of mass destruction. We cleaned our world, restored ecosystems, learned to live in balance with our planet." Anna's voice grew passionate. "Don't you see? That's what makes us valuable to this council. Every species here evolved on relatively gentle worlds. You learned cooperation because it was easy, because your planets didn't constantly try to kill you. You never developed war because you never needed to fight for survival." She gestured around the chamber. "The Harmonium Collective evolved on a world with abundant resources and no natural predators. The Ularians developed in gas clouds where there was infinite space. The silicate mines grew in crystal caves with perfect stability. You're all wonderful species, peaceful and advanced, but you're also fragile." Vexther's tentacles trembled. "What do you mean, fragile?" "You've had peace for thousands of years," Anna explained. "Your alliance has never faced a real threat, but space is vast and not everything out there is friendly. What happens when you encounter a species that doesn't value peace? What happens when a natural disaster threatens your worlds? What happens when you face something that won't negotiate?" David brought up star charts showing the unexplored regions of space. "Humanity has something you need. We have experience with adversity. We know how to face impossible odds and find solutions. We know how to fight when we must, but more importantly, we know when not to fight. Our planet taught us the value of every life," Anna said, "because we've seen extinction. We've watched species disappear forever. We know what it means to lose something irreplaceable. That's why we developed conservation, why we learned to protect the vulnerable, why we chose peace even when war was in our nature." The council chamber was silent for a long moment. Finally, the silicate mind representative, a being of pure crystalline consciousness, spoke in tones like chiming bells. "You are asking us to trust you because you survived a death world, but survival instincts are dangerous. They lead to aggression, to territorial behavior." Anna shook her head. "No, we're asking you to trust us because we survived a death world and chose kindness anyway. That's the real test of a species' character. It's easy to be peaceful when peace is all you've ever known. It's easy to be kind when you've never faced cruelty. The true measure of a civilization is whether they choose compassion despite knowing the alternative." She stepped closer to the council platform. "Earth made us strong, but it didn't make us heartless. It made us value life more, not less. We learned that cooperation beats competition, that building is better than destroying, that the strongest societies are those that protect their weakest members." David pulled up images of human cities gleaming and green, where nature and technology existed in harmony. "We're not asking to lead the council. We're offering to stand alongside you, to share what we've learned, to be the shield when threats arise and the helping hand when disasters strike." "We're terrifying to you," Anna acknowledged. "We survived a planet that should have killed us 1,000,000 times over. We developed weapons that could crack worlds. We fought wars that left billions dead. But we also created art, music, literature. We built the Taj Mahal and the pyramids. We painted the Sistine Chapel. We composed symphonies and wrote poetry. We're capable of both great destruction and great beauty." She met Vexther's alien gaze directly. "The galaxy should be terrified of what humans could do, but it should also be hopeful about what we choose to do. We choose peace. We choose cooperation. We choose to use our strength to protect, not to conquer." The council speaker was quiet for a long time, its tentacles weaving patterns in the air as it communicated with the other delegates through quantum-entangled thoughts. Finally, it spoke. Ambassador Chen, Ambassador Tors, you have given us much to consider. Your species is indeed terrifying, but perhaps that is exactly what the galaxy needs. A species that knows the cost of war and chooses peace. A species that has stared into the abyss and chose to build gardens instead. Anna felt David's hand briefly touch her shoulder in support. The council will deliberate, Vexler continued. But I will say this, any species that can survive Earth and still reach for the stars with open hands rather than clenched fists may indeed be worthy of membership. As the session adjourned, Anna and David walked back through the crystalline corridors of the council station. Through the transparent walls, they could see Earth hanging in the distance, beautiful and terrible, the crucible that had forged humanity. Do you think they'll accept us? David asked quietly. Anna smiled. They're afraid of us, but fear and respect are often two sides of the same coin. We just need to show them that the same survival instinct that makes us dangerous also makes us the best allies they could ask for. She paused, looking at their home world. Earth taught us to survive anything. Now we get to teach the galaxy that survival is sweeter when it's shared. In the end, the galaxy's terror of humanity would become its greatest asset, because only a species forged in Earth's crucible could have the strength to protect the peaceful civilizations of the stars, and the wisdom to know that true power lies not in domination, but in the choice to be gentle despite having the capacity to be terrible. That was humanity's gift to the galaxy, proof that even the fiercest survivors could choose to be kind. The end.